You would have thought that after Chad got sent home on The Bachelorette that all of the drama was gone. Not so, because if you're the producers of that show, you know how to manufacture drama. And you could just take the littlest thing and make it into a big thing. Like tonight, we had a one-on-one date between Jojo and Wells. Remember Wells? He's the guy who dressed up as a fireman several weeks ago, tried to run through some challenges, unfortunately wasn't able to, but it kind of worked out for him because the next thing you know, Jojo was off to the side consoling him. Well, wouldn't you know that Wells is the only guy who's left who hasn't kissed Jojo? Which is kind of crazy because Jojo kisses everybody. She kisses all the guys that are there. I'm sure she's kissed Chris Harrison. She kisses the limo driver. She was out buying apples at the farmer's market the other day. She kissed the apple seller. It's like everybody but Wells has kissed her. Like even Wells' brother called her up and said, "Hey, how come you haven't kissed my brother? I need to come and talk to you about this in person." He drove over, kissed her, and said, "Nope, it isn't me," and then went back home. So it's like everybody's kissing her. And that was the big focus of the first 20 minutes of the show, is Wells gonna kiss her. The guy's back at the house like, oh, is he gonna kiss her? What's gonna happen? And it's like this guy had every single opportunity on this date. Every single opportunity to kiss her. Like I got a phone call in the middle of the show from Stevie Wonder and he said he could see that he should have kissed her. Finally, after everybody was just getting completely exasperated with whether or not he was going to kiss her or not, they finally had their magical kiss, and it was like fireworks were going off. But he still got sent home. Now, he didn't get sent home, I don't think, because he wasn't a good kisser. No, he got sent home because she was talking to him about her ideas of love and how it should happen, and he was just very skeptical about it. He was honest. And she didn't really like what he was saying. She wasn't picking up what he was putting down, and then he had to go. So after weeks and weeks of waiting for that first kiss, I hope you liked it, because now it's done. And he was in the limo, and he was disappointed, and it was funny, because she was trying to fake cry over him. She was trying to, you can see that? She was trying to pretend she was really sad, but she couldn't really pull it off. And then he was gone. And then she was dancing in the rain, so she was over it pretty quickly. Next, we saw her go on a group date. Luke, Robbie, Jordan, James, and Alex went on this group date. They went out, and they were all hanging out, and it was all good. They were playing soccer in Argentina. But what I took away from this group date is that James Taylor, who I thought I liked, I don't, because he's a big whiner. He had some one-on-one time with Jojo, and instead of talking to Jojo about himself or getting to know her, what does he do? He goes in and he starts whining about Jordan. Remember Jordan Rogers, the guy that I'm picking to win the whole thing? Goes in and starts whining about Jordan. So, of course, Jojo hears this news and hears words be entitled and all this being thrown around. So it pulls Jordan aside, and Jordan's like, "Hey, I really like James. I don't know where this is all coming from, blah, blah, blah." Of course, next thing you know, they're making out, everything's good. And we'll get back to how that worked out with James Taylor in just a moment. Anyways, they're all on this group date. It's very interesting. I'm a big believer and a big observer of body language. And if you're watching the body language, it's very interesting because she was all over Luke. Just right up in his grill. Right up in there. And, of course, Luke ended up getting the group date rose. And he was perfectly safe. But then we went back to the next two-on-one date. So we had Derek and we had Chase. Now, of course, Derek was a little kind of smarmy, kind of cocky. He kind of went into it thinking, okay, I'm the man. This is going to go my way. And everything seemed to be going his way. But I got to tell you something. Can I tell you a little something about Chase? If you are a baseball team, you want to sign Chase. Do you know why you want to sign Chase? Because he's a closer. Chase looked like he was done. Chase looked like he was about to be thrown off of a building. Actually, he was thrown off of a building because Jojo's like, "I'm just not getting it from you. I told you how I feel. I don't think I'm getting it from you." And he's falling from the building. He's falling, and it looks like he's about to crash and burn, and he's going to be thrown off the show. But all of a sudden, he's like, "Wait a second." Rips open his shirt, pulls the chute, and next thing you know, he's flying, and he's okay. And out of nowhere, Derek's being sent home. And then it was probably the worst piece of editing I've seen. We've got Derek, who's in the limo crying. All the while, the background is playing "Don't Cry For Me, Argentina." Don't cry for us, Derek, because you're acting kind of douchey before you got sent home. And I was blown away that Chase survived. He won't survive too long, but he survived this week. Now, I said don't forget about James Taylor. Let's talk about him. Got to the final rose ceremony, and it came down to two people. Alex, a.k.a. Forefoot, and James Taylor. And she's like, oh no, I can't do this. And then she leaves, and she comes back, and she brings 2 roses. And they each get one, so everybody's happy. But not Alex, because I might tease him, but Alex is pretty smart, because he's like, this is a pity rose. Because you were like the last pick. Jordan wasn't the last pick, which goes to show you, James Taylor, whiners don't stick around. I don't think James Taylor's going to make it through next week. I kind of see the final 2 being Luke and Jordan, just for the simple reason that, oh my goodness, she is like all up in Luke. Like, this guy can do no wrong. And of course, Jordan, for the reasons I've said every week, related to Aaron Rodgers, and I just see Sunday Night Football going up to the booth, into the box, and seeing Jordan and Jojo, and it's, makes for nice tabloid fodder. But we'll see. So anyways, very interesting episode. So a couple of things that we've learned. Don't say anything bad about Jordan, because James Taylor was almost a goner. I think he'll be a goner next week, but almost a goner. And the other thing that we've learned is you try not to pay too much attention to the previews, because they're all red herrings. You want to pay attention to something? Pay attention to her body language. Jordan, you're good. Luke, you're good. James Taylor, not so much. She kisses James Taylor like she's on like the set of a movie, and it's very, it's very nice and prim and proper. But when it comes down to Luke, it's like, wow, okay, it's like, that's just like way too much. I don't need to see that happening. It's just too much. Anyways, I want to know, what did you guys think of this week's episode? Not the most exciting episode, but we still got some drama building. Not Chad drama, but the best drama they can manufacture. If the most exciting thing that happened in the first, 30 minutes of an episode is will he or won't he kiss her for a girl who kisses everybody, we're kind of stretching. My name is Keith Whittier. You should know that by now. Please follow me on Twitter at CFL_fan. You can also check me out on Facebook.com/WhittyWhittier and WhittyWhittier.com. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Looking forward to next week's, and until then, y'all take care.